I could teach you how to do it.
I know how to do it.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
The things I do for love.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
Number 3 posted a video that broke the internet for the saddest reason. He's visibly miserable, and he even says on camera, "I hate this." What number 9 went through fighting for her children got so intense that Taylor Swift had to step in and save her. And number 1, they walked away from everything people expected and built something nobody saw coming. What they did changes everything. Game of Thrones gave us love stories we'll never forget. Jon Snow and Ygritte in that cave. Drogo and Daenerys building something from nothing. That moment Jaime knighted Brienne that still hits different every single time. The show wrapped 6 years ago, and the cast scattered everywhere. Some of them found their real-life fairy tales. Others watched everything fall apart under the pressure. And a few made moves so unexpected that it left everyone speechless. We're breaking down 22 Game of Thrones stars whose real relationship journeys hit harder than anything that went down in Westeros. And that person at number 1, their story isn't even about finding love. It's about something that matters way more. Let's get into it.
Shows your muscles. You'll be a soldier.
Number 22, Mark Addy. Robert Baratheon spent most of his time in taverns, talking about the past and watching everything crumble around him. Mark Addy did the complete opposite. He's been married to Kelly Biggs since way back in the 90s. They're still living in York, England, miles away from all the Hollywood noise. They've got 3 kids and this incredibly normal, grounded life. Somebody asked him once why he never packed up and moved to Los Angeles. His answer was simple. He's never found a place that beats home. While Robert destroyed himself chasing what he lost, Mark built something real by staying exactly where his heart was.
Stark, when was the last time you saw your sister?
5 years ago.
She's changed.
Number 21, Michelle Fairley. Catelyn Stark sacrificed absolutely everything for her children. Everything. Michelle Fairley made the total opposite call. She's never gotten married, never had kids, and she's talked about this openly in interviews. She just never felt that pull toward motherhood. Instead, she threw all that energy into acting, working in theater and doing film projects that meant something to her. Catelyn's whole story was about tragedy. Michelle's story is about actively choosing a different path. And honestly, there's real power in that.
He faced those things. He fought those things for the good of his people. He risked his life for his people. He took a...
Number 20, Liam Cunningham. Davos was loyal to the core in Westeros. Liam Cunningham brought that same energy into his actual life. He's been married to his wife Colette since way back in the early 90s. We're talking more than 30 years at this point. They've got 3 kids together. And here's the crazy part. When Liam and Colette first got married, he wasn't even acting yet. He was literally working as an electrician overseas. So Colette fell for a guy who fixed electrical systems for a living. Years later, she's married to someone the whole world recognizes from one of the biggest shows ever made. Through every single twist, every role, every red carpet moment, they stayed rock solid. Liam's joked about how weird that transition must have been for her, going from electrician's wife to actor's wife. But they figured it out. That kind of partnership doesn't just happen overnight. You have to actually build it piece by piece.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. All I've ever wanted was to serve you.
Number 19, IAIN GLEN. Jorah Mormont spent years completely in love with someone who would never choose him back. He watched from the sidelines. He gave everything. He got nothing. And eventually, he passed away still protecting her. IAIN GLEN's real story went in a totally different direction. His first marriage lasted about a decade before things ended. He's got a son from that relationship. Then, while he was performing at this theater in London, he met actress Charlotte Emerson. The connection was instant. They spent more than 10 years together before finally making it official and getting married during a warm summer. They've got 2 daughters together, which means IAIN's raising this beautiful blended family. And unlike Jorah, Ian actually found someone who chose him right back. Jorah's whole arc was about unrequited love. Ian's real life became about getting that second chance and not wasting it. But not every love story starts with a second chance. Sometimes it starts with knowing immediately.
Some of you may be quick to forgive. The Ironborn are not.
Number 18, GEMMA WHELAN. Yara Greyjoy was tough, stubborn, completely unapologetic about who she was. Gemma Whelan ended up finding someone who vibes with all that energy. She married comedian and actor Jerry Howell. They've got 2 kids together, and they've built this whole life around humor and creativity. Gemma's opened up before about trying to balance working and parenting, and she's given major props to production crews who made space for her to bring her kids around when she needed to. Yara had to fight for every bit of respect she got on the Iron Islands. Gemma just found her person and built something solid with him. Number 17, MICHIEL HUISMAN. Daario Naharis played the charming guy, always confident, always flirting, always showing up with that smirk and a weapon in hand. MICHIEL HUISMAN, in his actual life, he's been locked in with one woman this whole time. He married Dutch actress Tara Elders way back in the late 2000s. They've got a daughter together. Over the years, they've bounced around living in New Orleans, then New York, building this whole transatlantic lifestyle together. No scandals, no messy breakups, just 2 people from the same background who found each other and stayed. Daario was all about playing games with love. MICHIEL just chose someone and committed.
Do you speak their tongue? Tell them to lift their swords.
Number 16, CARICE van Houten. The Red Woman manipulated kings and made some pretty questionable choices. CARICE van Houten handled her personal relationships with way more grace. She was with Australian actor Guy Pearce for years. They even had a son together who they named Monte. For the longest time, people assumed they were still a thing because they kept everything so private. Then something interesting went down in early 2025. Guy did this interview where he called his ex-wife the love of his life. Fans immediately got confused and started speculating about what that meant for him and CARICE. CARICE saw all the confusion and decided to just clear the air. She hopped online and explained that she and Guy had actually split years earlier, but they stayed close friends and co-parents. No anger, no messy drama, just honesty. The Red Woman left destruction everywhere she went. CARICE built something better with Guy, actual respect and friendship after romance ended. Number 15, HAFTHOR Bjornsson. The mountain crushed people and terrified literally everyone who crossed his path. HAFTHOR Bjornsson in real life is gentle, devoted, and heartbreakingly honest. He's married to Kelsey Henson. She's just over 5 feet tall. He's nearly 7 feet. Their height difference constantly goes viral, but that's nowhere near the real story here. Late in 2023, HAFTHOR and Kelsey went through something absolutely devastating that no parent should ever face. They lost their baby daughter Grace when Kelsey was about 5 months along. And instead of hiding from it or staying silent, they made the choice to speak openly about their grief. All through the next year, they posted tributes. They marked milestones. They talked about what it felt like. And they used their massive platform to reach other parents going through infant loss, letting them know they weren't alone. The Mountain's toughest fight wasn't in Westeros. It's what he and Kelsey deal with every day, honoring their daughter's memory while raising their son and figuring out how to move forward together. That level of strength, that's the real thing. Number 14, ALFIE Allen. Theon Greyjoy went through some of the most intense psychological stuff ever shown on TV. Multiple seasons watching him get broken down mentally, piece by piece, until he couldn't even remember his own name. ALFIE Allen's opened up about how playing that character messed with him. When you spend years embodying that kind of emotional weight, it doesn't just disappear when filming wraps. You carry that. He was with American DJ Allie Tales for a couple years. They had a daughter together named Arrow. After they split up, ALFIE went completely quiet about his love life. Allie eventually moved on with her life, and ALFIE stayed focused on being a dad and proving he could do other roles outside Theon's shadow. He's done some incredible work since the show ended, including this powerful role in a film set during World War II that got serious recognition. But that privacy he keeps now, that's intentional. When you've spent so much time being emotionally vulnerable in front of millions of people, sometimes you just need to protect what's left. Theon completely lost himself. ALFIE's still in the process of finding himself again.
And here we have Bronn, son of...
You wouldn't know him.
Number 13, Jerome Flynn. Bronn was obsessed with getting paid and living consequence-free. Jerome Flynn discovered something completely different: inner peace. Back in the 90s, Jerome had this huge music career that made him wildly famous across the UK. Then he hit this spiritual wall, started questioning everything. He ended up joining a community led by this guru who positioned himself as this enlightened teacher. Jerome stayed there for years, meditating every single day, studying, searching for answers. Eventually, though, he realized he'd been looking outside himself for something he needed to find internally. So he left and moved to Wales. Now he lives on this beautiful countryside property that he's transformed into a wellness and meditation retreat. He spent over 20 years building that quiet life, completely removed from the Hollywood machine. Bronn chased money his whole life. Jerome found something worth way more.
Butcher butcher's boy who wants to be a knight, eh? Pick up your sword, butcher's boy. Let's see how good you are.
Number 12, Jack Gleeson. Joffrey Baratheon was hands down the most hated character in TV history. When he finally got taken out at his own wedding, people literally celebrated online. Jack Gleeson is apparently one of the kindest, most down-to-earth people you could meet. After his character's storyline ended, Jack just walked away from acting completely. He enrolled in college in Dublin, started a theater company with friends, lived this totally normal life for years. When he finally came back to acting recently, it was entirely on his terms. Smaller projects, Irish productions, stuff that actually mattered to him personally. A few summers back, Jack married his longtime girlfriend, Roisin, in this tiny ceremony out in County Kerry. No celebrity guests, no media, just an intimate, meaningful gathering at a local church. The most despised character in television history lives the most humble, grounded life imaginable. Number 11, Aidan Gillen. Littlefinger manipulated everyone around him, played every angle, trusted absolutely no one. Aidan Gillen took the complete opposite approach to his real life. He married someone he'd known since childhood in the early 2000s. They had 2 kids together. When that marriage eventually ended, he didn't spiral into chaos or drama. He took his time and eventually found love again with Irish musician Camille O'Sullivan. They've been together for over a decade now. Aidan and Camille live this low-key artistic life split between Dublin and London. You'll spot them at gallery openings and music venues, just quietly living while they both keep creating work they care about. Littlefinger betrayed literally everyone for power. Aidan chose loyalty and creative partnership.
If you give them your love, they will return it 1,000-fold.
Number 10, Natalie Dormer. Marguerite Terrell played the game smarter than almost anyone. Always thinking 3 moves ahead, always in control. Natalie Dormer played an even smarter game in her actual life. She made herself completely invisible. She was engaged to a director for years. They collaborated on film projects together. Then that relationship ended. Shortly after, Natalie started seeing actor David Oakes. They met while performing in a play, and the chemistry was undeniable. Here's where things get absolutely wild. In early 2021, Natalie casually revealed she'd had a baby 3 months earlier.
Yeah, so it's a perfect thing to do during a pandemic is get pregnant with a baby.
She managed to hide her entire pregnancy. We're talking about a time when everyone was stuck at home scrolling social media constantly, and somehow she had a whole baby without anyone knowing. A couple years later, the couple entered a civil partnership. By now, they've got 2 children together. And still, almost nobody knows a single thing about their family life because Natalie's built this completely impenetrable wall around what matters to her. Marguerite played the game in public for everyone to see. Natalie won by vanishing from the game entirely.
I'm Sophie Turner and I play Sansa Stark.
I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell. This is my home.
Number 9, Sophie Turner. Sansa became queen in the North after surviving years of being controlled and manipulated. Sophie Turner's real journey hit just as hard. She met Joe Jonas through Instagram DMs. Everything moved fast, engaged within a year, married in Vegas, then overseas. 2 daughters, Willa and Delphine.
You think he's going to fall into your trap? He won't. He's the one who lays traps.
Fall 2023, Joe filed for separation. Media outlets immediately painted Sophie as a party girl who neglected her kids while Joe was the responsible parent. Sophie was filming in the UK, separated from her daughters, watching her character get destroyed through headlines. She later called it the worst period of her life. Then Taylor Swift stepped in. Joe's ex-girlfriend gave Sophie her New York apartment to use during custody negotiations. Pure solidarity when Sophie needed it most. They finalized everything by fall 2024 with shared custody. Sophie's made it clear she'll do anything to make sure her daughters feel supported by both parents. After the split, she briefly dated a British aristocrat. Now in early 2026, she's been spotted with Coldplay's Chris Martin, a fresh start with someone who understands that level of fame. Sansa survived Westeros. Sophie survived the tabloids. Number 8, Emilia Clarke. Daenerys Targaryen went from exiled princess to mother of dragons to the most controversial final twist in TV history. Emilia Clarke's real-life path has been just as layered and complex. Here's what most people still don't realize. While filming, Emilia survived 2 brain aneurysms. She had to have serious medical procedures done while the show was actively in production. The fact she kept working through that is almost impossible to wrap your head around. After the show wrapped, Emilia went through several relationships that just just didn't stick. She dated a comedian for a while. Long distance made it impossible. She was briefly connected to a director who ended up marrying someone else later on. Most recently, she was seeing a DJ for a few months before they mutually decided to just stay friends. Right now, she's single, but Emilia's been really thoughtful about what she's actually looking for. She did this interview recently where she made this beautiful distinction between the hot, exciting kind of love that's all chemistry and sparks versus the compassionate, forgiving kind of love that actually holds up when things get hard. She wants that second one. The mother of dragons is still out there searching for someone who sees her as Emilia, not as the character she brought to life.
The lion does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
Number 7. Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Jaime Lannister had one of the most complicated character arcs in the entire series. He started as someone you absolutely couldn't stand. By the end, he'd become someone you genuinely cared about, even if you hated how his story wrapped up. Nikolai Coster-Waldau's real love story is the total opposite of complicated. It's beautifully, perfectly simple. He met Nukaka back in the late 90s. He's told this story so many times. The moment he saw her, he just knew. Before they'd even had a real conversation, he turned to his friends and said, "I'm marrying her." And he wasn't exaggerating or joking around. They got married the following year. We're talking over 25 years ago now. They've raised 2 daughters together, both of whom followed their parents into creative careers. Philippa's working as an actress and model. Safina's doing the same thing. Here's the absolute best part of their story. Nukaka has never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. Not one. She showed up to the premiere of the very first season, and that was it for her. Nikolai's completely cool with it. He said he'd never try to force someone to sit through hours of watching him on screen. Their whole relationship exists in this space completely separate from his most famous work. And honestly, that separation is probably exactly why it's lasted so long. Jaime's love completely destroyed him. Nikolai's love keeps him grounded.
This season is such an intense emotional roller coaster.
Number 6. Gwendolyn Christie. Brienne of Tarth fought for respect her entire life. People mocked her, dismissed her, underestimated her at every turn. Then Jaime knighted her in front of everyone, and it became one of the most emotionally devastating scenes in the whole series. Gwendolyn Christie built her real life around creative collaboration and fierce independence. She's been with British fashion designer Giles Deacon since the early 2010s. We're talking over a decade together now. They've chosen not to get legally married. They're in this committed long-term partnership that works for them without the paperwork. And their relationship is just as much about creative collaboration as it is about romantic love. Giles designs so many of the stunning sculptural gowns Gwendolyn wears to huge events. He's created costumes specifically for her acting projects. She's talked in interviews about how wearing his designs makes her feel celebrated and powerful in her own skin. They live in London, nowhere near Los Angeles or the celebrity circus. They're building this life centered around art, fashion, and genuine mutual respect. Brienne had to earn that knighthood. Gwendolyn built her entire empire on her own terms.
I saved this city and all your worthless lives.
Number 5. Peter Dinklage. Tyrion Lannister survived impossible odds through pure intelligence and wit. Peter Dinklage survived Hollywood by doing something even smarter. He completely disappeared from the noise. He's been married to theater director Erica Schmidt since the mid-2000s. We're talking 20 years together now. They've got 2 kids, and the public doesn't even know their names because Peter and Erica have never shared them. They got married in Vegas while they were there for a charity event. No big announcement, no press coverage, no photos released. Peter joked once that they have a video of the ceremony, but they've buried it so far underground that nobody's ever going to find it. Here's what makes their relationship so fascinating. Erica has absolutely zero interest in watching Game of Thrones, none whatsoever. Peter tried getting her to watch early on, and she basically said thanks, but no thanks. And he completely respects that. When someone asked him recently what the secret is to their 20-year marriage, Peter gave the most Peter answer ever. Patience, patience, yeah, patience. Tyrion fought his entire life for people to see him and respect him. Peter fought to keep his private life completely private, and he won.
I was good. So, when David and Dan, the writers, told me, they said, you can't tell anyone now.
Number 4. Kit Harington. Jon and Ygritte fell in love in that cave in Iceland. Kit and Rose fell in love filming those exact scenes during season 2. They kept things quiet for years. People spotted them together constantly, but they never confirmed anything publicly until walking a red carpet years later. When they got engaged, they put a tiny announcement in an actual newspaper, old school and private. Their wedding happened at Rose's family castle in Scotland. The entire Game of Thrones cast showed up. Since then, 2 kids, a son and a daughter. From the outside, outside, perfect fairy tale. But here's what most people don't know. Right before the finale aired, Kit checked into a wellness facility. The pressure of carrying Jon Snow for a decade, keeping massive secrets, living inside that darkness, it all crashed down at once. He's been open about having a complete breakdown during those final episodes. Realizing he'd never play Jon again felt like losing part of himself. He took a serious break after the show, focused on healing and family, came back to acting only when he felt ready. Their story isn't just fairy tale romance. It's proof that even the happiest relationships take work and honest conversations about the hard stuff. Jon and Ygritte got the cave. Kit and Rose got the castle and the reality of building life after the cameras stop.
I was super heartbroken because I really love that character.
Number 3, Jason Momoa. Khal Drogo's first season performance is still unforgettable. Jason Momoa's career exploded after Aquaman, massive box office, global fame. He was with Lisa Bonet for over a decade before marrying in 2017. 2 kids, Lola and Nakoa Wolf. From the outside, unshakable. Then, early 2022, they announced their separation. No scandal, just lives heading different directions. When it finalized, they split custody evenly. No battles, no public attacks, just respect. Jason's now dating actress Adria Arjona and seems genuinely happy. But here's the wildest part. Mid-2025, he posted a video that broke the internet. He shaved his beard. The iconic beard he'd had for 6 straight years. Gone. Why? Dune Part 3. His character needed a different look. Watching him shave it off is genuinely tough. You can see he's miserable. He literally says, "Only for you, Dennis. I hate it." The beautiful twist? His son Nakoa Wolf got cast in the same film. They're working together and Jason made clear his son earned it on his own talent. Drogo gave everything for Daenerys. Jason sacrificed that beard for his art.
A little shy.
You're a little shy?
But I think you could join Game of Thrones with me.
Was it ever possible for us? Was there ever a time, ever a moment?
Number 2, Lena Headey. Cersei schemed her way through 8 seasons and burned an entire city to hold power. Lena Headey's real life has been complicated differently. The biggest rumor first, she dated Jerome Flynn, Bronn, in the early 2000s. It ended badly. For years, people claimed they had contract clauses preventing them from filming together. Jerome finally addressed it at a fan event, saying they were actually in scenes together, and the feud was overblown. Lena married, had a son, dealt with postpartum challenges, then divorced. Later, she had a daughter with someone else. That relationship ended too. For years, she navigated single motherhood with 2 different co-parents while building her career. Never hid her kids, never publicly attacked her exes, just kept moving forward. Then she met actor Mark Menchaca. They married a few years back in Italy with several castmates attending. Dinklage, Turner, Clarke, she's finally found stability. She's also launching her own production company and directing her first feature film, not just acting anymore, actively creating. Cersei schemed for the throne. Lena built an actual empire.
Number 1 would be Ned's beheading in season 1. That was what spiraled her whole arc.
Number 1, Maisie Williams. Arya got cast at 12. Second audition ever, spent the next decade playing one of the most iconic characters in TV history. After the show, Maisie dated someone in fashion for years. They were everywhere. Fashion Week, red carpets, matching outfits, ended amicably in early 2023. Since then, her romantic life's been completely private. But that's not the story. While everyone focused on who Maisie was dating, she was building something way more interesting. She co-founded a tech company called Daisy. Think LinkedIn for creatives, where artists, musicians, writers, and filmmakers connect and collaborate. And Maisie didn't just lend her name, she raised over $7 million from major investors. She's a genuine co-founder making real business decisions. She still acts selectively. Catherine Dior in a fashion series, some indie films, but she's not chasing Marvel or blockbuster franchises. She's building something that outlasts Game of Thrones fame. Final twist, George R.R. Martin posted about meeting Maisie in London for pizza, mentioned a secret project that could be so much fun, but gave 0 details. Fans think she's returning to Westeros. Maisie's not saying anything. Arya rejected every expectation, refused to be a lady, became a fighter, saved everyone. Maisie did the same in real life. While everyone expected her to chase the next big role, she built a company. While everyone obsessed over her relationships, she focused on legacy. That's the actual Game of Thrones. Jon Snow married his Ygritte. Daenerys is still searching for her person. The Mountain is healing from unimaginable loss. Sophie survived a public custody battle. Lena built an empire from scratch. And Maisie, she changed the entire game. These aren't just actors playing make-believe characters. They're actual human beings who fell in love, lost people they cared about, rebuilt themselves, and kept going when the cameras turned off and everyone went home. Game of Thrones ended 6 years ago, but their real stories, those are still being written right now. If this video genuinely surprised interest you, go ahead and hit subscribe because we've got way more deep dives like this coming. Drop a comment down below and tell me which relationship story shocked you the most. And if you actually made it all the way to the end, you're one of the real ones for sure. The North remembers, and so should you.